When we're talking about training and development, there's lots of different terms that are used. And in this subdiscipline, we have use of words that is more specific than in the vernacular everyday talk. And so, training and development specialists differentiate between education, training, and development. So, education is a formal program of study that's aimed at developing more general knowledge and understanding of an area. Training is focused more on knowledge, skills, and abilities for a specific job. And development refers to a continuous process whereby someone develops knowledge, skills, and abilities over the course of their career. Now, central to all of these processes, fortunately, is learning. And learning is the process of bringing in new knowledge, assimilating it, developing skills that you need to lead to permanent changes in behavior. And so I kind of like that learning is central to that because we know whether we're involved in education or training or development, one of the central process that we should be focusing on is learning. Of course, there are also important differences between development and training. Development's more long-term, continuous, talking about the potential of an individual, and training is more specific and immediate. We expect outcomes to manifest themselves very quickly after the intervention is held. Also, when we talk about education in that space, it's important for us to differentiate between adult learning and the learning of children and adolescents. And there can be noteworthy differences. And so, when you're in that education space, looking for that kind of differentiation is often important when you're looking at human resource development because you're mainly looking at adults. There are differences in how adults learn and what motivates them to learn. And adults, when they understand that there is a need for them to learn a new skill and they have the opportunity to be more actively involved, then they tend to approach learning better. Adults learn better when it is a problem-centered type of learning where there is strive to generate some solution, when they can connect to experience. So adults have experience, they have established knowledge, and bringing in new knowledge means integrating that with their experience. And so it's important that they have some of that in the learning process. Adults also learn better when they can see a connection between learning and the demands of their job, and so that they can immediately apply that learning. And adults seem to be highly motivated when they are motivated internally, intrinsically from within. And whether we're looking at adult learning in the context of education or training or development, the focus is still learning. And so, what are we trying to get employees to learn? That's a central question whenever we're doing training and development. And one concept I think is very useful in this endeavor is that of competencies. Competencies are a nice umbrella term that bring together the idea of know-how or tacit knowledge and connect it with other higher cognitive skills. But it's an umbrella term that brings all of these things together, whether it's a knowledge, a skill, other attributes. They help us to focus on things that are outcomes that can be achieved and seen as a result of the learning. And they are terms that resonate. Oftentimes we can get into again these debates of what's the difference between a knowledge and a skill and a skill and an ability. And I think it's better to focus on these competencies and have questions of, is this something we can expect to change as a result of learning. And those are the things that we focus on. And competencies are a way that resonate both in terms of having conversations in a business context, but also with the employees and them having training. They also understand and see connections with their performance on the job. And if you can have competencies that fit that bill, that talk about knowledge and skills, but then also connect to behaviors that impact performance, that's really the area that's going to be the best way that you can capture a language of what learning is in the context that you're doing training and development.